Right, welcome to Chancla Talk, where we talk about movies, shows, games, and geeky topics that strike our interest. With us, you have Grotesque, which is our team captain, Lilirose, and myself, Grumpy. And today we're going to be talking about the top 10 classic horror movies. Uh,
Our ones.
our ones, yeah. This is the ones that we classify as the top 10 classic, right? So our ranking criteria is a bit
Bit different.
different. Yes, yeah, it's a bit different. We sort of ranked it on the top movies that left us sort of scared afterwards, right? There's a bunch of hack and slash movies that are sort of like, oh, it's scary, but once you go home, you don't think about them.
Yep.
If you go home and you're still thinking about them, and if you go to the bathroom and you don't open your eyes to see yourself in the mirror, then it's a scary one.
That is true. That's the criteria here.
That's the criteria. So, empezando rápido, tenemos top 10 classic horror movies. You want to start off with Grotesque, the first one?
Okay, so yeah, first one we have number 10, we have The Shining.
Classic movie.
That is a classic.
Originally, yep, released in 1980. It's a classic horror that sticks with you. I mean, we all know this movie is it's embedded in the pop culture of everything gaming. It has
Mm,
incredible suspense.
yes. And this
Um,
one was in 1980, right?
yep,
19 released in
1980.
1980.
Yep.
I
And it's
think
mhm,
I think now after so many years, right? I think and after you kind of know like the behind the scenes, like all the creepiness kind of fades away with how fucked up the behind the scenes was of this
yes.
movie.
Yep.
Um all they did to that poor lady, the poor actress. I feel
Uh,
bad for her.
Which one's
But
that? Wait a minute. Tell me more
Oh,
about that.
yeah, I don't know. What are you talking about?
What
the
happened?
the main actress, I don't know her name. I feel so sad
Uh-huh.
now that I don't know her name.
Uh-huh.
But they made her redo like the whole scene where she's like yelling because of the axe thing.
Oh, really?
They made her do it so many times that it kind
Mhm.
of traumatized her.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, they pushed her
Oh,
to her
shit.
limits so much that I think she got fucked up after that.
Yeah. Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why I see this movie now. It's like I don't see it the same way anymore. Like once you know
Uh,
behind the scenes of how fucked up that was, that's even creepier than the whole fucking movie. Um,
yeah. So once you see that scene, it's her genuinely terrified,
Terrified and fucking exhausted because how many
exhausted. Terrified.
like they
Yeah.
pushed her like no you have to do it better, you have to do it better, and she tried it over and over again. She was just fucking dead there.
Damn.
That's
I
fucked
had
up.
no idea about that. I remember seeing this movie as a kid, and the worst
Hey.
scene ever, right? It's like
Hmm.
the room 237.
Oh god,
That
yes,
gave me nightmares.
that is the creepiest shit ever. La vieja es así saliendo, oh god.
Yeah. And then with the kid, right? They did fantastic with the camera angles and
Yes,
like and they put you in that perspective, the kid's perspective.
the kid's perspective.
Yeah.
So whenever he
Yeah.
was like riding the little
Yeah. You
through the
you see it.
hallway,
You
and
feel like the
oh
kid.
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's a great movie.
Now you can tell it's a classic because they used it again in Ready Player One, the entire scene, right?
Oh, yeah, with the twins and
The
Oh
twins told
yeah,
yeah, they had a whole level of just The Shining.
true. And they did like what's the other, oh my god, I forgot the name. The new movie that they did with like him, the kid being the adult now.
Oh yeah, ¿cómo se
oh
llama?
yes, Doctor Sleep.
Doctor Sleep. I really liked it.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. See,
I really liked it.
And his line whenever he's banging down the door with the axe, like it's like an iconic line, like you still hear that today, like here's Johnny.
Oh yeah.
yes, yep,
But I cannot see that like that scene where he's like frozen the same way because that's like a gif now, right?
it is a gift.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
everybody
no,
uses it on winter, so it's not that
no, it's
fucked
not
up
creepy.
anymore.
It's
Yeah,
kind of yeah.
kind of funny when I see it.
It adds some levity, at least.
True.
Okay, let's move on to the next one, right?
So yeah, number
Number
9.
number 9,
It is The Ring.
The Ring.
That was
Which came out
released
in
in
2001.
2001.
Yep.
So yeah, also we didn't say this. Our classics are from its 80s, 90s, and early 2000s.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
So
we sort of capped it at 2005. Anything before 2005,
yeah,
we consider a classic at this point.
yep, it is, guys. We're in 2022, guys. Come on.
Yeah, in 2022. I know we feel
It
like,
feels like 20 years ago was like the 80s, but
yeah,
no,
no,
it's not.
we're starting to get old.
No, viejito.
Yep.
So The Ring. What do you guys think about The Ring?
Ooh, it terrified me, right? So for released in 2001,
Yes,
it was very unique for its time, right? We've never seen
it's fucked up.
a monster like that came at you. Well, it wasn't a monster, it was like a ghost. Not sure.
Creepy
Creepy
dead
girl.
lady girl. Yeah,
Yeah,
little girl.
yeah,
And
and then
Didn't
it
know how to
came out
brush
of
her
the
hair.
yeah, exactly. It's terrifying.
I think
It's a great movie.
the worst thing about this movie is it's how like it would traumatize me. The little snippets of like them doing that whole like excuse me, sorry. So the whole part where they like flash before like this little scene. I don't know how to
Yes,
explain it. That little scene and they put like the tree and then the lady and then
Oh
like all
yes.
in like little
Yeah, yeah.
flash like fast forward version of it. Like it creeped me out so much.
hmm
Yeah.
That's always creepy to me.
From the TV, like you start seeing like the water fall out, and then all of a sudden like the hand comes out. It's nope.
Oh
no,
yeah.
mm-mm. Like the
Yeah, that little I mean, it was I think that was the first thing that made it creepy, the little girl with the hair in their
mhm.
face
Yeah.
Yes,
coming at you from a well, which is like fucked up. And then the
Yes.
TV, it's like I don't know. It's
yeah,
like the beginning of like the whole don't the chain of like don't share the video kind of thing
yeah,
because they remade this a lot after like
yes,
Yes.
all of a sudden
And
a
like
lot of
other
movies had it.
versions like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. The way it moved too, such a creepy way of moving.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes. Yeah.
And yeah, I remember I watched this movie a lot, and I had a friend that stayed over, uh, or she came over one time, and where we were living at the time, there was a tree outside the house that looked exactly like The Ring. And we were watching the movie, and we looked to the side, and that freaking tree looked exactly like the one in The Ring, and we would freak out. We're like, Mira, it's like the same tree. She's coming for us. We just stupid. Um, but yeah, The Ring for us is a classic.
It
It
is.
is most definitely a classic for us. It's terrifying. Made me not share shit with anybody or receive anything from anybody. So,
Yeah, you took it seriously then.
all
Um,
right.
so yeah, we're gonna go to number 8, which is the Blair Witch Project, and it
Blair Witch
was
Project.
released in 1999.
Yep. It's one of the first to be like one of its kind, the first found footage,
Yeah,
which was very interesting, right? Because we all grew up with those type of videos at home.
yeah.
Yeah.
Every mom and dad had those cheap cameras que parecían like una caja de zapato.
See,
And the shaky video of the
Yeah, the shaky video, the shakiness, it really put you in the place, right? It really,
yeah,
you were really there. I remember like having debates in high school, people saying this is real, and others like, no, this is not real. That's how good it was
yes.
made.
And
That people were thinking it was real.
yeah, and it's crazy because like that's one of my favorite like type of horror now.
Hmm.
Found footage is like my top. If I ever see like one, oh, it's found footage, I really want to watch it, even if they're
Yes.
kind of crappy. But I think that perspective of like it feels real, like even the camera, like how it would be in like they're there. It's not really a cameraman with the director. You don't feel that
Yes.
essence of like
Yeah,
it's just the person going through it, and
just
I
yeah,
like it.
Yes.
a small trick. And I like that it's never like really like in your face like a monster or anything. It's just like always like hit like it would be like if you're out in the woods and how you would freak out if you hear like something like what was
Yes.
that? You know, like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It
mm,
really touched on our instincts of
Yes.
panicking at night, and we hear a little noise, and we right. It
Yes.
builds suspense incredibly well compared to other movies.
It
And the whole
does.
movie was suspense, right? The whole movie was you didn't see any
yes.
monsters. It's just suspense.
No. You just see like weird ritual things and
Yeah,
weird
weird
sounds
things,
and
but nothing crazy, right? You didn't need any jump scares to be scary.
Exactly.
It was just yeah, it was there.
It's like the realism of you like being with your friends, right? And all of a sudden,
Yep.
like when that happens, that sometimes you're like, oh, you're somewhere, and they're
Hmm.
like, oh, wait, look at that. You know that little feeling that you're like, wait, what? That little
Yes.
feeling that
yeah.
like hits you in the gut, like, what? What is it?
Yeah.
That moment, that in a movie, I love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That
It's a
feeling,
suspense.
you don't know
Incredible.
what's coming, but you, okay,
Where you could be transported there and it's like, yeah, you're
yeah,
feeling it with them.
Yeah.
You
Si
can
lo ves
connect
uno
to the
solo de
characters.
noche, nobody around you to distract you, you're really in there, right?
yes,
You're in those woods, hearing those sounds, panicking.
and
And
it's
the isolation too of being in the woods, and then it's not like a house. Oh, just go outside, pendejo. No, it's like this is in the woods. You can't go anywhere.
yeah, that's fucked up. The
Yeah. And
little
there's
it's everything,
I
little details of this movie. It's great.
Many debates with dumb people that this is not real. So it's a good movie.
I remember that. Yeah, everybody was freaking out. That's real,
This,
man.
shut up, man. You're so dumb. No, it's not real. It's a movie.
So yeah, let's move on
Be
to
honest, you're the
number
one that thought it was real, huh?
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to number 7.
number 7 is Jeepers
7.
Creepers.
Jeepers Creepers. Now, this one's going to get a lot of debates because it's not your typical ghost. And most of you would be like, well, I'm not going to be creeped out
Oh,
if
come
I
on.
go into the bathroom. Pero it was terrifying.
I found it terrifying. I mean, it is true. This is debatable. This is very much a
We had debates among ourselves on this
yeah,
one.
a chancla team thing, especially being grumpy.
Yeah.
Dongo that isn't here, he really got freaked out by this movie.
Really freaked out.
Like super freaked out. He was he
Like
got fucked up with it.
like the movie had a low jingle, right? It's like Jeepers
Yeah.
Creepers.
Yes.
Where'd you get those peepers? And Dongo would like lose his mind. He would not like it.
He say stop.
Yes.
I really liked it. I think it's the creepiness that it's like he's a freaking monster, and then
Yes.
like also he acts like a human,
Yes.
and he has like this little hut, and then like underground he has like all these bodies on the walls. That's
And he
it's
drives exceptionally well.
he
He's a
drives
really good driver.
amazing. He's a great driver. And I think that honk is like forever in my
Yes.
brain of like the truck going behind. And I think
I
I
think
love it
that
more
part was
because
scary for me.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I love that it wasn't like the typical oh teenagers being
No.
chased, right? It wasn't the typical couple. It was brother and sister. And
Yes.
I think that hit me harder. It was like if I'm with my brother and this
Mhm.
shit happens,
Mm.
it's that feeling of like they're yelling at each other like, "Oh, move, do this." No. It's like I really love that part of like them being siblings.
Yeah. You can really get into that part, right? It's you can transport yourself into the feelings.
Yes.
It's your sibling, didn't it? You do anything to make sure they're okay.
Yeah. I really love that.
Incredible movie. I loved it.
So yeah, we can move if you want to the next one, or you guys want to. I know it's debatable for Lily Rose. Like
Lily fought back on this one a lot.
She fought
Lily
back.
was not.
She's
She
like,
did not. Mm-mm.
it's a monster,
But I mean,
guys.
it's scary, like to be like you're on the highway at night on your own, like in those backcountry roads, and like you have
Yes.
this huge truck behind you. Yeah, that's terrifying. And like it's like trying to, like go like ram you off the road and stuff. Yeah, that to me is terrifying. That's scary. But then I met once, I don't know, once I saw like the monster and stuff, it was like it's a fake monster. It wasn't.
It's a fake
Mm.
I don't know.
monster. You have to get in the movie. Get into the movie. Where are
Yeah.
you? It's a
It was in a.
monster.
Look at the hat. That's a badass hat for a monster.
Well, he's got style. I'll give him
He's
He
that.
got,
had
he's got
style
style,
for a monster, but still, it just
and the fucker flies.
it didn't mess with my head, man. I don't know. It needs to mess with my head.
All this time, he didn't need a truck.
Yeah. Turns out he just he loves to drive casually.
I think I'm ruining the
Loves
movie for
stopping at
myself.
rest stops. Rest
s-
stops are very creepy too.
Yeah.
Like, they have that vibe. That
Yes.
Now I
Yeah.
just imagine him like in his little hut, right?
Yeah.
And all he's doing is just like metiéndole nitro esa guagua, pimping it out to just chase people down.
He's a
I do.
car aficionado. He loves cars. He
How
can
Yep.
he gets
fly.
rid of his anger. He just has some road rage.
Yes.
I
The way
wonder if he has some like really good um music set up back there. Reggaeton blasting.
Yes. Bad Bunny.
Con las luces.
That lights.
I think I think the reason it also resonated so much with us, like we lived in Puerto Rico and this whole chupacabra thing was still going on, the whole mystery thing, didn't it?
Yes.
So
It's
the fact of having monsters out there that fly and they can kill you, it was
yeah.
a real thing.
I think
Not as real as it
yeah,
gets, but
it is. I think I found it creepy as hell. I think it was scary. The actors did amazingly. Like it brought me in. I put myself in the like their perspective, and it's like it's perfect for me. I don't know. It was really
yeah,
good.
love.
Okay,
Lily fought with us, but we fought back.
we put it in there. It's ours. Number 7, Jeepers Creepers.
All
Okay,
right,
so
number 6,
number 6 is The Grudge,
The Grudge,
2004.
2004. This is more towards the later range of our
Yeah, early
our
2000s.
time frames. Yeah. And I had a question, right? Because I remember The Grudge, but there was a significant, very iconic sound that brought me back.
The
Oh
creepy sound.
yes.
What is it?
Uh,
Can you make the sound? Oh,
that shit. Yeah, that's the creepy sound of The Grudge.
that,
That always
that was
fuck
it.
people up.
That really messed me up all the time.
And that's the problem. Like right after you watch the movie, you would do it just to tease people, but then you would kind of freak yourself out too. So
Yeah, totally. Especially at night, right? You go to the bathroom, you start thinking about the little gurgling sound.
yes, that's the
Ugh.
worst. Yeah, you imagine it just popping like right next to you
But like I say, I don't know why we can become so imaginative when we go pee at night.
because this is a vulnerable state. You're in a very vulnerable state. You never want to be caught with your pants down.
That's true.
Oh my goodness.
And imagine like, in the worst moment, like something pops up, you have to run out half naked, sin
Yes.
limpiarte. It's a bad moment.
That's the part that can traumatize us, sir. Sin limpiarte. Let me at least clean myself, ghost.
Just wait until at least I'm done.
Let me
And
wash
then
my hands. Then
yeah,
you
let
can
me
come
wash my
and supervise
hands.
me.
Let me be and then you can creep me out. I'll give you that.
Yeah. At a young age, I think I mastered uh, the art of going to the bathroom, washing my hands, and coming back to bed with my eyes closed completely.
Oh yeah.
Yes. And oh, the tension that you get when you like are sitting there, and that only that horrible thought in your like mind pops up that it's like, what if there's something behind like the shower sheets,
Yeah.
the, thing,
Yes.
the shower
Oh yeah.
curtain? Once
Yeah, I
that
always leave it open. I
once
never
that
close them.
pops in your
Yes.
head, it doesn't like
You can't get it out.
you can't let
Yeah.
it out, or you either like slam it, slam it open, just in case there's something behind you, slap it, or you kind of like avoid it and just
You look
ignore it.
for the shadow. Like, is there a shadow on the other side? Like,
Yeah,
can
fuck that.
I?
You close that shit. You open that shit real fast.
So
You leave it
yeah,
open.
sorry. The Grudge. What do you guys think about the Grudge?
It's classic. It's like the ring. I mean, it came.
Hair on the face.
The characters do look a lot like, yeah, each
It had a
other.
very, yeah. You can tell the Grudge was inspired by the ring, but
I
yeah,
mean,
it was.
the Grudge came from like a Japanese movie, right? Japanese version of a movie, if I'm not
Mhm.
mistaken. Um,
You may be mistaken. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if the ring
I
did,
don't
but
think you're
it's something
mistaken.
about like these pale faces, hair in the face,
Uh,
with the eyes
Yeah,
popping out that creeps the hell
yes.
out of us.
with this contortionist skills.
Yeah.
It's
And
like,
the
Or
little
fucking Cirque du
noise.
Soleil.
oh yeah.
And
Yep.
it's
This one
also
has
like
like a
the
few, kind of confusing a few of them, but there's like, I think like for one movie, like there's a scene of the bathtub that like where she's like slowly creeping out that really always got to me. And then like I think from another one, like that running up the stairwell thing, like
oh yeah.
um, but I think I'm confusing two of the grudges.
It's also the movement of the body, of how they move their body in a weird way. It's
Yeah.
everything. I think that's creepy as this. That is the difference between us and other people. We barely like those slasher movies.
Slasher.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you're not gonna see a lot of here. We always like the creepiness of like this creepy
Yeah.
shit that you don't see
Exactly.
every day.
Subtle suspense that comes at you, right? Because a hack slash is like, yeah, we get it, right? And I think they've gone a little too far with the jump scares in modern movies. To the point that it ruins the movie, right? Everything's just
Yeah,
jump scares.
You need some story so you
Yes.
can get into the character and then the jump scare affects you more. If it's just
Yes.
cheap jump scares all the time, it's
They don't let you like become the character before they scare you, right? So you never get into it.
yeah.
yeah. Although I have to say, there's a lot of modern movies that we will talk about in the later podcasts that are great,
Yes.
but
Many debates coming about that because I don't like him too much. But
because they scare the shit out of you.
because it's like brute
Well,
force
well,
horror. It's not like it's no suspense, no story,
I don't know.
no heart.
I'm not sure. I think you're just scared, but um, yeah, I think it's this is what we like. We like the creepiness, the weird movements that you don't see in humans.
Yes.
yes.
That's what
It
creeps
has
me
to
out.
be like kind of like slow and like
Yeah.
It's
And
like
things that
slow
are
zombies.
so subtle
yeah,
enough, right? Whenever you see like a human in the background, like I said, and it's subtle enough that you can tell it's not human. Entiende?
Yes.
If it's
something quite not right here.
yeah, not right here. Like in real life, entiende? You see something, it's like this is not right, and you slowly like transition to that state of mind. Like
Yeah,
fuck. Entiende?
that is true.
That's what I like.
That's what fucks up the brain.
The brain.
The
All right,
brain fucked
move on to
up.
the next one.
Number 5, we have
Number 5, the great classic,
The Sixth Sense,
The
Oh
Sixth
yes.
Sense. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
and that came
Great
out
movie.
in 1999.
Eso tenía a Bruce Willis, el papizongo ese.
Papi Songo
También,
ese.
yeah.
Mhm.
And the kid, that kid, I forgot his name, but he's
I forgot his name too. What the
incredibly
fuck's wrong with us?
talented.
Oh my
He was
goodness.
huge in those times.
He was
So
He
talented,
was.
right? Amazing.
amazing
He was in everything.
performance, right? And this Sixth Sense was a hit, right? It was a huge hit.
It was a
It
huge hit.
was.
I
Yeah.
think
And
I think
I
we
didn't
have
see
it
the
in
end of
number
it.
5, and it's because I honestly don't remember much of the scenes, and like it
Mm,
didn't really stick with me. Like I do have few that stuck with me, but also since it had like an ending, I think the ending is what stuck with me the
I think
most, rather than
yes, I
the
think that's the
scary.
ending is what made it. Yeah.
Yeah, other than the scary moments.
Because I didn't see it. I mean, now after like I was told, then it was very obvious, but
Exactly.
I didn't I didn't catch on. I didn't notice.
Yeah. So now when I think about this movie, it was just it was just a mind fuck of the last scene of like, what? Really?
Yeah.
Rather than,
yeah.
oh my god, that was scary.
It made you question everything, right? It's like, am I dead? Shit.
Am I doing this for nothing?
Yeah. Questions. Did the kid travel alone the whole time?
Yes.
No wonder he's so traumatized now. And then like that scene with his wife where it's like,
He's so
why isn't she talking to him? Like, and then later on it's like, oh, that it like changed that scene completely. It's like
completely.
I was like,
Which
oh, I felt bad. I was like,
which I really love though. I love that movies do that.
Yeah.
Um
yeah,
But it
yeah,
was amazing, right? Because it had different kind of goals. Some were really aggressive with the kid.
very.
yeah,
They
Poor
came at
kid.
night. The tent scene was impressive.
yes. But then later on, even that gets like explained. Like they're just lost and confused. It's like no one's really trying to like harm him type thing. They're just, I need help. Like I don't know what's happening.
That is true.
No, one of the best. I love that movie.
That is one of the best. That's a really good one.
I really like that.
That is definitely a classic.
Yes.
So, you guys want to move on to number 4? You got something else to say?
No, I
Yep,
just picture
we
like
could do
Puerto
that.
Rican ghosts. And it's like, Wepa, what the fuck?
Whip up, Poppy.
What?
Wepa. De noche te despierta, Wepa.
But then again, we know how much haunted places are in Puerto Rico, and I take that all back. Then there's no huepas there.
Tenemos a Darth Frere online. Darth
Darth
People
Frere.
saying that
Frere.
Sixth Sense was spoiled for
Mira, no
him.
sale
That
el
is.
chat. I'm just, what's going on here today? But
I don't.
I'm sorry,
Cosita.
guys.
Ya por technical stuff.
Technical
Pero,
stuff that keeps happening to me.
y él dice que body snatchers freak them out. Yep.
Oh God, yes. Oh
Yes.
my God, it was spoiled to you. That's
That
horrible.
sucks. Who did that to you? Should
Who
have punched him
did
in the
that to
face.
you? I hope they're not your friends anymore, because
Not
that's
cool.
that is
That's not
something
cool
to lose
move.
a
That's not
friend
cool.
for. I would lose
Yeah.
a friend for that.
Unless it's family, right? Then
Oh, a
forgive him.
cousin.
Pero,
Está bien.
yeah. Perdónalo, entonces, pero
Eso no
no
se
Like the
dice.
confíe.
cousins.
Eso no se hace. Eso no está cool.
Mm-mm.
And that changes the movie completely. Then it's just
Then it's just like, yeah, you already know. It's that fucks up the whole movie. I'm so sorry for you. That's
Yeah.
horrible.
That was the best part of the movie.
I
that
Was the
can't.
was.
review.
That's what made it. Yeah.
That's when you go home. It's like shit. That is crazy movie, right? Everything that happened.
Yeah, I can't lose a cousin. Okay, I understand. All good.
All right, let's go to the next one, which is one of my favorites and the one that made me lose a lot of sleep at night.
Okay, number 4, we have Pet Cemetery,
Yes,
It's
this
Pet
movie fucked my night so many times.
and it was released in 1989. Yeah,
Yep,
this
it
movie
was.
is fucked up.
It's so fucked up. Everything, the story, it was perfect, right? Delivery, the makeup of it, everything was on point.
Yes, and they tried to do like a remake of this, and it was horrible.
Yeah, terrible. No
It
funciona.
sucks. It
The
was
old one is
bad.
still scarier.
It is still scary. The whole, like, that dude right there with the skull like popping out of his head. That was
Yes,
so fucked up.
yes. Yep.
I mean, everything
Oh
was,
gosh.
because they killed off that little kid, which was like, is traumatizing on its own.
No, yeah, it fucks you up for the whole movie,
because
right?
it's just a
That happens,
baby.
and yeah, and you feel the sadness y todo.
Oh, it was
So you
terrible.
can really feel like the struggle of the dad, entiende? You
Yes.
can really feel that, like, fuck, man, if I was in that position, I would try it too, right? I don't know. It's really
Yeah, it's like
strong movie.
yeah. You don't really question, like you don't even say, "Oh, it's stupid of you." It's like, "No, I would have done maybe the same. Who knows, right?"
Maybe the same. Yeah.
Like you just want
Tipo,
your kid back. It's terrible.
yo lloraba. Me dio terror, pero lloraba cuando tenía que matarlo otra vez. It's like, ay, bendito Dios, no podía.
Not again.
Yeah, not again. Y lloraba el nene.
Pete.
Maldito coño.
That's so messed up because yeah, then he would like manipulate like being like a oh,
Yeah,
that was terrible.
it fucked me up. But the guy with the skull open, get a cyclist, and he was like a cyclist, something like that.
I think so, yeah. I think
Yeah.
in the newer version he's a skater, supuestamente.
Wow.
And now, but yeah, I think it was a cyclist, and that's messed
Yeah.
up. Like the way they did it, like his head like that, it's still so creepy. I still
Yeah.
see pictures of it.
Amazing.
Like, ugh. What do you think, Lily Rose?
I didn't see this. That's
You
why
didn't
I
see
was
this one?
silent. I did not see this one. No.
Okay, I gotta show it to you
I,
then.
I have like the gist of it, but I didn't see
Oh,
it.
you didn't see this one?
No, I'm
Now we know
sorry.
who took over this
That was
this
me.
whole list is
That was
just us.
because it terrified. This is like it made a huge impression in my life.
No, yeah, it had to be there. It had to be there.
Yeah. To the point that I don't buy houses next to big roads. Just fuck that.
First of all, yeah, it's not a very smart move.
No.
But yeah, this movie comes to mind every time there's like a road like that. Uh and we drive past it. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, why would you live there? Move. Like when I see people like
Yes.
just in the front
Yeah.
of the house with their kids, this is what comes up to mind.
Yep. Huge impression it made.
So yeah, so sorry, Lily. We definitely like, took over this whole like
I mean,
list. Jeepers Creepers.
And the next one
but
too.
I mean, like, it's such a big thing
Oh,
that
the
you
next
always
one
hear
too.
about it, and it's like, I know, like, it was like a Indian burial ground. Like, you know things about it without even watching it. That's how big it was. So, yeah, it
Oh
had to
yeah.
make it onto the list.
So you remember big parts of it without knowing.
It's a great
Cool.
story.
Yeah, because yeah, everyone still talks about it. It's
So yeah,
Great.
great movie from a great
Yep.
book. Amazing. All right. So
Yep.
number
Let's
3.
go to number 3 now,
It's
which
already number 3,
is
and it's
Stir Up
Stir of
Echo.
Echoes. This is
Fear of
debatable.
Echo. Yep, we debated this with Lily as well. Lily was not happy with our list.
No, but it's
I
our
like Stir of Echoes. I do like it. It's just I didn't know if it should be number 3.
to us is
It was
number
just the
3. Yeah.
placement of it.
And I had
Because
forgotten.
our criteria was, right, like, it has to really mess with your head. It has to, like, have, like, stuck with you. And this movie, I rewatched so many times. I loved it. I rewatched it. But it didn't mess with my head where it was like, no, I can never see that again. This
This
is
movie
dead
fucked
to
me up.
me. This is, yeah.
And I did.
But
I
apparently for you guys it did. So
and I think we did rewatch it. It's just it fucked me up every time I watched it.
It's a mixture of everything, right? It's not just a ghost story. It's like a deeper story going on, and I don't know the revelation through the story that it was a murder and everything is amazing, right? It's great story. I don't think it got as many props as it should have, right? Because it was released.
just released
It was just like
right next to Sixth Sense.
a
Yeah.
week after
Yeah,
Sixth
it's
Sense. Yeah,
yeah. Sixth Sense took the
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
took the
took-
popular vote. Yeah,
but to us, this
and
is
you know, yeah, this is great movie. The scary part was amazing. The story was great too. Didn't it? The part
Yeah.
someone was killed is a good mix of stuff, right? Because you the whole movie you think that the ghost is a bad one, it turns out the humans are the bad ones, didn't they? And the
Yeah.
ghost is just a victim.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the touch of
It turns the tables, everything.
yeah.
And that part where he has like that one dream where he like loses the tooth, it's like I don't know how many times I've had like a dream like that, like just like a simple little nightmare, but it like messes with your head, like
Every time they
Yes.
put that in a movie, it's terrible. I hate it. um, I think the part that he's on the couch was always scary at that time,
Yes.
right? Like right now you
It's
can
so
see it,
sad.
it's not the same effect, but um it's still fucked up. Like it was scary to me that he just like that little scene, it was so simple, but the camera angles and everything, the tension
Hmm.
build up to like that scary moment, it scared the hell out of me.
even like the movie theater scene where like she's like telling him like to visualize like the movie theater, like so he opens up
Oh
like
yes.
even to me that was like I don't know, like I could never sit in a theater by myself. It just felt creepy. It was like, okay, where are the people? And, like
Yeah.
it's
Don't close your eyes and meditate. Don't do it. But yeah, I think the scary part to me was that ending, knowing about the girl, the whole part that like just people suck and they're terrible, they're evil. That's the
yeah,
real evil. It sounds like some Scooby Doo shit, but um,
yeah. And
to
and I
me,
think like his son ended up keeping like the thing, right? Like the because the son was always open to it. It was just now he became open to it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The little kids in this era were like all fucking psychic. They
All
knew
gifted.
everything.
Yeah.
You're dumb. I know. There's a dead person next to you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
All these little
Don't be
kids.
scared of it. It's my friend. It's
Yeah, they have no problem with having friends with bloody
yeah,
faces.
yeah. He just got a boo boo.
Just got a booby. He
Oh,
fell. Got a boo boo. Half his skull is out, but he's just a boo boo. Grumpy, are you there? I
Radio
don't know if he's
silence.
muted, but
He's
that was
muted.
Stir of Echoes. That fucked us up
There it
really
goes.
bad.
Yes. Great movie.
So, are you guys ready for number two?
Yes.
Number two.
Number two is Paranormal Activity,
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
Another one of
2007.
those
That one's a
It's a more
little
newer
later,
one,
but
but
we needed to put
yeah,
it
it's
in there.
because
It's early
they
enough.
kind of changed things too. It was another one of those like Blair Witch that kind of changed the way like horror movies were made after that.
Yeah,
Everybody was trying to
yeah, found
then
footage,
do
but
that. Yeah.
in a different way. It was the cameras of
Yeah.
your house. They're
yes.
just recording what's going on in your house, and that's even creepier. Like it's just you trying to be in a
And
normal
we're just
thing, and
watching this girl not sleeping and stuff. It's like it's really like no monster or anything. It's just these weird moments of unexplained things happening in the house. Which
Yeah. No, it's la cosa que es so real in that part, right? Because you going like Grotesque said before, is you're super vulnerable at that point. You're sleeping.
yes,
yeah.
And you often wonder if you put a camera out, what happens when you sleep,
yep,
right? And if you shit like that, it'll fuck you up. That's not
it'll fuck you up. And also, it's that thing of like you have no choice. Like you have to sleep, which is like
yeah.
Yes.
things are happening in your house, but you need to sleep. So what's and knowing that
Yes.
things are gonna happen, it's
Yep.
terrible to think of. Like I know something's gonna happen tonight, but I need to sleep. What
I need to
choice do I
sleep. Yeah.
have?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, just like being home alone and doing like the simple little things, but like feeling like that set of eyes on you and you're like
Ugh,
looking around. Wait,
yes,
what? Is there something that like it used to happen to me all the time when I was little doing dishes? Like
it's the worst feeling.
I couldn't it's like I would always like look over my shoulder like why do I feel like
Get your eyes off me.
Yeah. And everything was so subtle in this movie that matched real stories. You know, we all grew
Yeah.
up with stories of things
Definitely
happening,
yes.
sheets of things in bed, moving stuff, closing doors.
Yeah.
Everything was perfect, aligned with what we know about ghosts and haunted
Yes.
places.
And this one took like a different little turn. It wasn't just a ghost. It was like a demon
Yes.
Yeah.
in your home. Like it's trying to get you and it's trying to get her, right? And take over
Yeah.
her.
Yes.
So it's like it's worse. It's like it wasn't just a ghost story. It's that she knows that there's something that wants her
Yeah.
and
Truly evil. It's not
it's
just a
truly evil. And the desperation of like it's his wife and he's like, what the hell do I do? It's like vulnerable. Like so vulnerable
yeah.
that it sucks. It felt so real. I really liked it.
And the actors were perfect. They look like real people, didn't it? They're not models, so like they look like the neighbors, people
Yes.
that you know.
It
The
was
casting was so perfect.
it was good.
Back like when we were just starting like to do everything on our phones, like record everything and stuff, so
Yeah,
also hit like what we were doing in the time period, and
Yeah.
yeah,
things that we didn't think to do. Like,
Yep. So great movie. Again.
great movie. One of those movies you don't want to wake up and go to the bathroom. Yep.
Yeah. And this one is still
stuck
like
with
my
you forever.
favorite. Like I know they did some other things after
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
they just kept adding to this. I don't know what the hell they were doing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Out of
this
all the movies,
simplicity, guys, just keep it simple
yeah,
Yes.
and we'll love it.
'Cause,
the
yeah, they
suspense.
have done like more paranormal activities, but yeah, now it's just going too far. It's
It's
just
gone too far, too jump scary, too yeah. It's not
yeah. It's
the
the
monsters
sinfulness
revealed.
that
Don't show me the monster, right?
yeah.
Exactly.
You
The
allow
Don't show me
your
the
mystery.
monster. Yeah,
The
you allow your
that's
mystery.
what's
imagination
terrifying.
to fill in the gaps and it
Yes.
sometimes does better.
Exactly. That's a true horror movie.
Yep.
It's that let your imagination fill the gaps.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Go to the
All
next
right.
one.
So now we're going
And number
to
one.
number
Mentions?
one. No, number
Number
one.
one.
Number
Okay.
one is The Exorcist, of
The
course.
Exorcist, of course. Right.
And
And
we're
we talk about the entire series, not just the movie.
yeah, the entire series. There was so much fucked up in this.
Although that first movie is what set the whole series, right?
Of
Yeah,
course.
exactly.
Yeah, and that
It
was
was
in what? The first one?
that is
The
in
first one, 1973.
1973.
Wow.
True classic.
That is really
Yeah.
a classic.
It
um
Uh,
is, but it
But
was
it is still
the
terrifying.
story was good. It was
it was terrifying.
uh like the moments, like they even had like the contortionist back then, but it like now if you rewatch it, it doesn't really feel like
Yeah, that thing coming down
compares
the
to the others,
stairs.
but still it was yeah. But it did have like all the little things and they let you like identify with like the characters, like build
Yes.
up the story and stuff. So the moments did feel more. It was back when like they told stories in horror movies,
Yeah. And it's based on a true story too.
which messes more with your head.
But
At
Yeah,
also
least
like
that's what
exactly.
messes with my head.
yeah. This one
Based on a
is
true
it
story.
is.
Yeah. And it happened in Scotland, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
And I remember I walked through Scotland and it looks as terrifying as the movie,
Really?
right? Yeah. It looks as creepy and is you can feel the air filled with history.
Ugh.
So much history that you can see it happening. That shit could
You
happen.
can feel the tension in the air.
Yes. So much history there.
Wow.
Edinburgh, yeah.
But yeah, this movie has some traumatizing shit in it. Like I don't know. There's still scenes that pop up in my head that were like because they had this thing great way of doing things that they would put the camera angle in a way that something normal will be happening and then something will pop out like
Yes.
a hit like the what is it? I think it was in the hospital or something in one of them. That whole scene where like the reaching
Hmm.
of the white sheeted thing It was so
Yes,
creepy. That and the whole music behind it too. It was great. It creeped out everybody.
it creeped out. There's a lot of stories also of behind the scenes of how there's also like paranormal activity happening during the filming and after the filming. That's how,
Oh
Yeah.
yes,
This one and other ones, yeah, the
there's
ones that have
so
followed.
many.
yeah.
Um, with a lot of people getting like after this movie, I think it was right. Of some people
Yes.
were died after this. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't
Getting
exactly
sick,
related, but
feeling not weird stuff happening. Yeah.
yes. And I think if I'm not mistaken, in one of them, they had this guy working in the scenes, working behind the scenes, right?
Hmm.
And one of these guys ended up being a murderer enough to be called a serial killer.
Really?
And they
What?
didn't know it at the time. He was, I don't know. It was
I
that's
wonder.
messed
I
up,
wonder. That's the darkness that was carrying through the
right?
whole production, didn't it? Because you can feel people. You can feel when people are dark and not right,
Yeah,
and it creates a toxic environment. You can feel. That's weird.
it's weird.
You gotta be
It's
careful with this stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
this is stuff we don't understand. It's weird.
Oh, and if I'm not mistaken, like one of the sets, like it burst into like flames. It got on like it caught fire, and like the
Yeah.
only room that didn't get fire like caught fire was the room of like the whole scene with the girl with
Hmm.
the being
Oh no.
possessed and stuff. It's the only room that didn't get like in flames. And it was like
Yeah.
a weird thing to them that the whole set got ruined, but that room,
It's a lot of things that happen in that movie
there's a
on
lot of
production
things.
and off production. Yes, a lot of things that happen, and I think that's why we picked those two. Paranormal Activity is number two, and Exorcist is number one because of all the stories that we've had in our lives. Okay, we can share in our next podcast, pero that's why the subtleness is what we like because it's so realistic to us.
It is. That's what hits us.
Yeah,
Not saying that, there's obviously to other people, these slasher movies or these other movies, they're a real horror for them.
yeah,
But to us, this is the real scary.
yes.
Some debatable
So
to Lily, but to us.
I
um
agree with Exorcist as well.
that one.
It was just Jeepers Creepers.
okay,
Okay.
and Stervecos.
Let's start
But
with
I
those.
understand. I understand para el Tongi. I remember. He still talks about it, how much it
I think he's
traumatized
still
him. So
yeah, still scared of him,
So yeah.
and
So
I think we can.
now
Yep,
we can wrap up and go to the honorable mentions, which is these movies that didn't make the list, but yeah, they were great movies. They're classic
they were yeah
movies.
influential enough to change the entire horror genre and to still affect us at night. It just wasn't the top movies for us.
So yeah, these movies are.
Yep.
Do you want to say them?
Sure, yeah. We have Amityville Horror. We have Poltergeist, Child's Play, Chucky. Chucky was terrifying.
Chucky was terrifying.
Right? Yeah, and
especially since
Damn
it's
Doll.
based on a real doll.
But
Yeah.
once you grow, yeah, once you're an adult, you're like, what? Just fucking kick the thing, right?
Yeah,
It's not
no, it's
that,
stupid. Yeah.
but
But that thing would latch on
yeah,
like crazy.
yeah. It's like don't walk next to beds, right? Because I can hide under the beds.
Oh, they love doing that scene with the little ankles.
Yes. Oh yeah, la parte de atrás del
Ay,
ankle.
Dios
Oh
mío. And they did it too in Pet Cemetery. That was
yes.
terrible.
Oh yeah, I hated that part.
That was
And one
nasty.
coming, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, and Halloween. Right,
Yep.
these are all classics, amazing movies, great movies for Halloween. Uh, which also takes me, well, it tells you how influential they are for Halloween. Now we have a new Halloween movie coming out soon, right?
Yes, that's never ending.
Halloween ends.
The Cabro no muere.
It's coming out on the 14th to theaters and to Peacock.
I
Yes.
imagine this is like the last movie, right? They can't do more after this.
I don't know. I feel like she's killed them so many times. Yeah.
Right? Poor woman. She is like really
She
traumatized for
can't
life.
she can't escape the shit.
She's
So
gonna have to like
which one
cut him
out
up
of
in tiny pieces and burn him.
Yeah.
these honorable mentions you think is your top
Amityville Horror.
out of a horror?
Mine,
Okay.
I think, would be Poltergeist.
I don't know. I think Nightmare on Elm Street is still like you can't
Oh, really?
sleep.
That is true.
That
That
The
was
is
that
thing
was
is
wrong.
true.
gonna chase you even in your sleep. Like there's no way of
Yeah.
escaping. And then
Yeah,
he
whenever I
takes
was
all your fears
oh,
into the dream too, which is terrible.
Yep.
It's yeah. So
yeah, that's yeah, how do you fight that one? It's once you go to
Yeah.
at
sleep,
that
it's
point, I'm
done.
like, to just take me, just mata me. I got.
So yeah,
It's like the
and it's
frustration. What can I do? Just kill me, really.
well, that's the part that sucks, right? Because always in dreams. There's times you don't know you're in a dream. ¿Entiendes? So it's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
wakes up in bed. It's like, oh no, I'm not. I'm awake. No, you're not. You're asleep.
No,
¿Entiendes? So
because
it's like,
and that happens in like I'm at that age, like we're at the age that when we're just dozing off, you think you're awake, you're thinking and imagining things, right?
uh-huh.
Like sometimes you're really, really sleepy and you're like you doze off and you I don't know, sometimes I imagine things like I'm still working on something or doing something.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then I realized I was asleep all that time. Now
Yep.
and now I just think of that and I'm like, okay, yeah, I would have been killed off really easily.
Yep.
yeah.
No, there's moments I wake up and I get ready for work, and then I realize I'm asleep still.
Yeah.
So that's like really demoralizing.
Wasn't there like
Got double
a
it down to
scene
it.
Yeah.
in the movie where like a kid gets like falls asleep in class and gets murdered in class? And I always wondered like what did everybody explain to themselves? Like, how did this person just
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
and Nightmare on
And
Elm
oh
Street?
yeah, see,
Sorry. It's just
everybody's like, boy, I fell asleep. I guess he
To hold you.
held you up. Let's move on.
Oh god, but yeah.
All right. So those are our top 10 plus honorable mentions. And I hope you guys enjoyed that collection of movies.
Indeed. I hope so.
Indeed.
Um so yeah, let's wrap it up there then. Thank you guys. I'm sorry that we had technical issues again, but for the chat. But thank you, Darfur, for being there.
Yep.
Um,
Thank you.
don't forget to
thank you.
follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. And you can also find this and other episodes of Chunka Talk on Spotify and YouTube. Next weekend, we will be talking about mostly zombies, I think, right? What's the plan?
Zombies?
I think yeah.
I think next
Zombies.
episode is like zombies and vampires, something like that.
Yeah. So it's going to be,
It's
yeah, games, movies, anything zombie related. And we're going to have the famous discussion of what a zombie is and is not.
Yes. And then the week after that, we will have Haunted Casas, which we are really looking forward to.
Yes. Haunted Casas. Yes.
We got some
Plenty,
stories.
plenty of stories to talk about.
All right, guys. So thank you. Thank you for being here and see you guys next weekend.
Yeah. Have a great week. See you
Take
next weekend.
care.
Bye.